Good morning, everybody. I am showing you an Avid note revision checklist, and what I'm going to do in this video is show you how to use the notes that you've already taken to study for your test that's going to be next class. One of the things we can do is we can number the sections of our notes so that we can see different concepts. We can circle keywords that we need to study. We can underline things that we feel are important. We can add things that might fill in some missing pieces that we didn't understand. If we feel like something's not important, we can draw a line. If I really don't understand something, I can put a question mark so I know to go ask somebody for help. And this one is a star, like thinking, I know the teacher's going to put that on the test and I'm going to need to really study it. And the last thing you can do is you can always draw pictures, put a picture in there that will help you understand. So at any time you need to review this checklist, just go back to the beginning of this video and just take a look at it. So what I'm going to do is start on page 11 of our notes, and it was on similar figures. This is the first page of our notes that we have for our test that is next class period. The essential question is, how do I determine missing links of similar figures? Okay, I'm actually going to take a highlighter and highlight that question. We need to be able to answer this question when we are done going through our notes. Okay. Now I'm also going to use some color ink. I'm choosing to use pink instead of red, but you can use whatever color you have. And we're going to go in and we're going to start looking for some important keywords and so forth. And one of the most important keywords in this one is going to be similar. And I have it right here. And proportional. Okay, one of the main things we need to know is it's a fact that all similar figures are proportional. Okay, now proportional, if I'm not sure what it means, I'm just going to put a little question mark right there. And what I'm going to do is, since I'm a teacher, I'm going to go ahead and answer that question so you wouldn't have to ask me later. Proportional, the definition is simple. Applying the definition is where the challenge comes in. But the definition of proportion just means that you have two equivalent fractions. So 1/2 of a pizza is the same thing as having 2 slices out of 4 slices of a pizza. So the way this look is what we're doing when we look at proportions. Okay? What we're learning is that when you cross multiply in a proportion, that both sides are going to be equivalent. The product is equal. So 4 times 1 is 4, and 2 times 2 is 4. So if something is proportional, then these numbers, when I cross multiply, these products will be equivalent. And I know it's hard to see, but this 4 is equal to this 4. So let's jump over into our similar figure notes over here. I am going to highlight this in my pink. That means similar. So I'm going to put a little caret right there, and I'm going to write the word similar in case I forget what that sign means, because that sign could be on my test, and I need to know what that means. Okay? I have these 3 shapes, and I want to remind you that these letters are extremely helpful, Okay? The order that they come in, A, B, C, matches this order, D, E, F. And you'll notice that the A and the D are in the same position, and they're also in the same position up here. Okay? That's important to remember. The problem itself is right here. I'm going to just put a line that separates these notes. I'm going to call this section 1 and this section 2. Section 1 sets up the problem. Section 2 works out the problem. So in section 1, I want to know what X is. And I'm going to highlight the X so that it sticks out when I go to study. And I'm going to recognize that this is probably going to be important. I have to find my X. Okay? It says to determine the length of DE. I'm sorry, EF, which is this side right here, which is the X. And what we're going to do is we're going to set up this proportion. Okay, things that you need to remember. I'm going to go ahead and call this a main idea, is we need to put these words on The numbers here correspond to the big triangle. So for example, the X is on the big triangle, and matching the X on the small triangle is that 5. Okay? And that's why we put in our notes EF is to BC. Now, when I go over to the other half of my proportion, all I need to do is find another number on here that has a matching one over here. So we chose the 12, and the 12 arm matches with the 3 arm. So you're going to say 12 over 3. Now, we are going to cross multiply. Okay, so these were our steps. You set up a proportion using your corresponding sides. Corresponding sides can also mean like the matching parts. Cross multiply. Y'all, cross multiply is humongous. After I cross multiply, it's going to create an equation. So 3 times x is 3x, and 5 times 12 is 60. Now what I do is I divide by, right here, divide, by the number, the coefficient. Okay, this is extremely important right here. You're going to always divide by the coefficient. The coefficient is the number in front of x. Okay? And when I'm done and I do all of that and I cross multiply and then I divide, I get this answer here. And the number here should represent the missing value from above. Now, I'm going to write just a quick summary down at the bottom to help me with these notes. And my summary is just going to be an answer to the question. How do I determine missing links of similar figures? Guys, I'm going to set up proportion with corresponding parts. After I set up my proportion with the corresponding parts, meaning everything matches and it's in the right place in your proportion, you're going to cross multiply, and finally you divide. So that is my major skill to answer that question: proportion, cross multiply, and divide. Hope this helps you understand how to study your notes. Stay tuned and I'll do the next page.